Imagine being in the middle of this for the second time, as if the first wasn't bad enough. Cyclone Freddy has returned to Southern Africa's shores, more deadly and destructive than before. I'm Jane Dutton, this is Eyewitness News. But first, I'm sure you will never forget this image.
Pregnant woman. How can this be correct?
Pregnant woman lying on a hospital floor. Dirty, filthy, unsafe, an absent CEO.
How can this be correct?
These are some of the words used to describe conditions at the Rahima Musa Hospital in Johannesburg. An investigation was launched into the mother and child facility after this video was posted online more than a year ago. The health ombudsman recommends the CEO, Dr. Nozuko Mkabayi, goes and a disciplinary process be instituted against her. Since her appointment 2 years ago, Mkabayi has only spent 182 days at the facility.
So there is something that you could pick up, that in Gauteng, the supposedly well-resourced province, the top province, has a problem of choosing CEOs.
So, crime, rape and murder is up in Gauteng, and apparently it's due to the fact that we're no longer under lockdown restrictions. The stats were released today. The numbers cover the period between the 1st of October and December the 31st. Gauteng Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Elias Mawela blames the increase on the first festive season in 2 years without any lockdown restrictions.
The province contributed 27.1% of the overall crime in the country for the quarter. We have previously highlighted that assault GPH and assault common are main contributors to our overall figure of contact crimes. The people of Gauteng, they still continue to beat each other up.
Horrific crime in Cape Town too, a tragic end for a community that searched desperately for a missing 10-year-old. Denica Persence's body was found in Marvin Park next to the N2 highway, a day after she was reported missing. 3 people have been taken in for questioning. They haven't been linked to the case yet.
We searched every lead that we got. We as community want justice for this little girl.
Not on our watch, you won't. The Democratic Alliance is making sure EFF's looming national shutdown does not happen. The DA has filed an urgent court interdict today. Party leader John Steenhuisen says there are limits to the manner in which people are allowed to protest.
We call on all South Africans to utilise these instruments to stand against thuggery, lawlessness and a breakdown of law and order in South Africa.
The Economic Freedom Fighters spokesperson Leanne Matter says DA's court bid is a frivolous publicity stunt. The planned national shutdown on Monday is in response to South Africa's crippling power crisis and a call for the resignation of President Cyril Ramaphosa. So the DA will be hoping that the courts will be working, because our courts are another victim of load shedding, sitting at stage 4 right now.
When we had a joint march with them during the Zuma Masport, they never ever raised issues about looting, about violence, about anything like that. They were there, they were in the front leading with us. Now, because they are not part of this march for whatever reason they've chosen, they're going around insinuating that there's going to be violence.
Here's provincial priorities for you. The Eastern Cape is at it once again with yet another name change. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture has gazetted new names for 2 towns in the Eastern Cape. The town of Fort Beaufort will now be called KwaMaqoma after Xhosa warrior chief, while Somerset East has been renamed KwaNojoli. Rivers, hills, cliffs and forests in KwaZulu-Natal are also set to undergo name changes. They're in their early teens and may have found a solution to South Africa's exorbitant school uniform prices. Pupils from Tapani Junior Secondary School have won the first leg of a national coding and robotics competition. Their invention, creating a robot that can sew school uniforms. The young engineers have worked hard on their project after school and over weekends. They head to Mpumalanga next week to take part in a national robotics and coding competition. Now, it's hard to imagine the despair of having to pull people out from mudslides. That's what families and rescuers had to do after Cyclone Freddy returned to Malawi and Mozambique. Malawi was worst hit, prompting authorities there to declare a state of disaster. Heavy rains have damaged power lines and key infrastructure. The storm made landfall on Sunday, hitting the country for a second time in a month.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.